What's up, fishaholics? It's Les here, down in the fish room. I've got these red devils divided, hoping for a spawn this weekend. This is my buddy's boy, Beast. Put him in here with Rhonda. They kind of got into a bit of a fight on day one. Round one went to Rhonda. I took Beast out, let him heal up. There wasn't any hardcore damage or anything, but they scuffed each other up a bit, and then he was just running from her, so there wasn't any progress going to be made there. So I moved him, let him heal up and get used to my water conditions a little bit. He was coming from my buddy's place, and my buddy has harder water than me, likely, so I let him adjust a bit for a few days. Now he's acting a bit more like himself. He's a really personable fish. Like, he'll come to the glass and try and bite at your fingers on a regular basis, and he's just starting to get back to that now. Like, try and get him going. He's got it in him. You can see now. Oh, now they're interacting a bit. Show him, buddy. Show her what you got. There, she's keeping the dithers far away. So, you never know. It looks good so far, but things could turn bad in a split second with these kind of fish, so I'll be keeping my eye on them. Shout out to Corey at Corey's Cichlids. He's the one who sent over Beast for that breeding. Check out his channel. He's got some nice fish. Here's my wild caught Rio Mag Umbi in here with the silver dollars just to keep him company. This guy's growing nicely now. He's gonna outgrow this 60 gallons soon, and the plan is to get rid of this 90 and 60 and have two 120s stacked, and then he'll have a 120 and the devils will have a 120. So these guys are putting on a show, so I gotta film it. So yeah, hoping for stacked 120s in the near future. I'm not sure how near. In the fish room here, I have some upgrades. I put the black shelf onto this side. I put white shelves up top there. Put my food, my chemicals up top there too, so we'll see what I end up using it for as time goes by. Really excited about these guys. These are my new F1 Mesoheros Feste. This is a female. This is the male, I believe. And this is a sub-female behind there trying to fight for dominance. And then I believe the fourth one is by the sponge usually. So yeah, I got these from a fellow hobbyist here in Winnipeg. She got them from Aficionados. She had 6 and hers paired off. She got a spawn out of hers, so I was lucky enough to be able to buy the remaining 4. They're a little banged up, but anybody who keeps centrals know that they did their job getting banged up to allow the other spawn to take place, and now I've given them their own territory. So once I get a pair, then I'll have to eventually move the leftover fish so that they don't get murdered. And eventually these guys are also going to need a bigger tank. They're in a 90 gallon right now. The largest, the male there, is only about 5 inches, and the female's about 4. They will require a 6-foot tank for sure once they get to like 8 or 10 inches. Got the Vieja Argentea in this tank, the 75 gallon to themselves. They're gonna stay in this tank for quite a while until there's any problems or spawning, hopefully. Just have the 4 of them from Wet Spot. Really like these fish. Moving on, have the Mesoheros Feste that I got from Wet Spot. I'm not sure what's gonna happen with these guys. They're in a 50-gallon breeder. I have a buddy that's looking to get rid of a 90-gallon tank that I would be able to squeeze into that spot. Looks hard to believe, but it's possible. So I might either upgrade their tank to that tank, or I'm not exactly sure. So once I decide, I'll let you know. These are my Texas cichlids now. They've got the 45-gallon to themselves. It's 4 feet long, 12 feet wide, 12 inches wide, 16 inches tall. Imagine 12 feet wide, eh? It's a skinny tank, but it's long. I'm hoping for a spawn out of these guys, but we'll see. They're still young. I've gotten one spawn so far, and then later that day I had to switch tanks around anyway, so I took the eggs aside and tried to raise them up, but the majority died. I do have 3 fry left from that, so that was a plus. And I'm hoping for the pair that's in there to spawn again. So should be any day. These guys here are also a pair. Electric blue Aquariums. This tank, I just moved these fish yesterday, so they're kind of getting used to it, but very nice fish. I'd love to get a spawn out of. These are my F1 Rio Mag Umbi fry from my buddy Justin. They're growing out nicely. Hoping to get some nice adults out of there and then pick one to pair off with my wild caught Umbi. Here's some mollies growing out for BAP, but you can see in the corner too my albino bristlenose pleco female. 2 females and a male in there, and my daughter's betta. He goes in whatever tank is available for him at the time, so right now he's in with the mollies, but he's been in with adult mollies, he's been in the pond, he's been in with pleco fry, you name it. This is my crystal black shrimp colony. It's not really much to look at yet because my lighting is very dim, and I only have 9 shrimp in a 10-gallon tank, so it's hard to find them. In here are some F2 Mesoheros Feste fry. I have 5 fry from the same hobbyist that I got the F1 adults or sub-adults from. Also in the cave there is my male bristlenose pleco. I have 1 female in here with him, and they've given me 1 spawn so far. There's the fry. You can also see that Texas cichlid fry in there. There's 3 of them. Probably about 50 plecos. Yeah, so that's the fish update. Now, I've got a few more things I'm going to work on over the next couple weeks. I'll be posting videos of me doing the work and just showing you what I'm doing, but I'll give you a little heads up on the plan. I plan on building a new stand for this tank here so that I can stack 2 4-foot tanks on top of each other, so there'll be the 90 with the 75 on the bottom, and then since I'll be using that 75 to go on the bottom, I'll be putting another 90-gallon tank there. And I don't have any plans for the other 90-gallon tank. It's just that I need more tank space with the fish that I currently have, so I'm always planning to upgrade. So if I could turn that into a 90 and that into a odd-shaped 90, then I'm gaining, like, off the top of my head, I'm gaining about 60 gallons of water, 55 gallons of water, and a little bit of space for the fish. So doesn't hurt. And then another upgrade I want to do is the lighting in here. Realistically, I don't need tank lights. I could just use the room lighting, but I like how it looks when I turn the room lights off and only have the room lit by tanks. So what I want to do is something along the lines of how I have this back stand rigged up, but rig it for the whole room. So this was a broken tank light. I removed the guts from it and I installed this LED strip. I really like the LED strip, and what I did was I put one on the bottom and mounted it to the stand, and then I wired these two. You can kind of see actually the joint, but I wired these two lights in to the same power supply, and now one power supply, one plug, lights these two tanks. So I'd like to get a few more, probably about 6 more of those LEDs, and do the same thing, like pull the guts out of the fixtures for the top ones and have them end up looking like this or like this, but filled with LEDs. And I want to have them all on one power supply, but I'm not an electrician and I don't really know what I'm looking for. But if you guys do know what I'm looking for as far as a power supply or where I could find one, please leave a comment in the comments, because that would help me out quite a bit. The next thing I want to do after I fix the lighting is I want to put in a centralized air pump so that I can run all these off of one pump. Right now I have 3 air pumps running all these tanks and not that much airflow in the whole scheme of things. So if I could get one big air pump going, rig up that system, I will. I'm hoping for that for around Christmas time, kind of as a Christmas present to myself and to the fish room. And then something that I'll be doing probably this weekend is, see how I have these panels here? I put them on the tanks to be able to deflect some of the light that comes back at me when I put the lights, when I mount them to the bottom shelf like I do. So what I'd like to do is buy a new 4x8 sheet of this coroplast and redo these to be one single thing so that I don't have that joint. See, I have a few joints on the bottom one, a joint on the top one. So I want to make them to size, and also this stand is new and doesn't have them. So I want to kind of make them all match and make it look a little bit cleaner by doing that. So that's going to happen probably this weekend. If not this weekend, it'll be next week. Another thing is clean up the power. Right now I've got cords plugged everywhere from these new tanks because I just set them up on a whim, and I want to clean up where the wires go and whatnot. So pretty well that's what I got going on in the fish room right now. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys are interested to see the fish grow out and to see how the room develops a little bit. And if you are, please subscribe and keep posted for my next video. Have a good weekend, guys.